Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And Taurus, this is your weekly intuitive tarot reading for April 27th to May the 3rd. So this week we have the Initiation Oracle card, and the Durga Yogic Path card is behind that. We have the energy of Judgment, the Ace of Swords, Seven of Cups, the beautiful Ten of Cups, Five of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. So some really amazing energies here, Taurus. Obviously we have that Living Your Best Life card of the Ten of Cups. Love that energy. And we've got some major breakthroughs and divine gifting that wants to come in for you. There is a threshold that needs to be crossed. You know, I really feel like it's about moving on from what's kept you, held back, maybe what's kept you small, what's maybe kept you dimming your light, what's maybe not materialized for you, the disappointments, the expectations that haven't been fulfilled in a situation. It's time to either let that situation go or let go of the energy of that you might still be attaching to from that. And that is what, the energy of Judgment is here for you this week. It's really that wake-up call, and that's when the breakthrough happens. And that's basically like the dam opening. I'm really seeing the dam opening and the flood coming through. And these aces and the Ten of Cups are there on the other side waiting. So let's go to the Oracle cards first. We've got the Initiation, but under there we have Durga. Now, Durga is the goddess of inner strength and protection. So it really says that you have all the strength and power within you to, overcome any hardships that you might be facing this week. That could involve, letting go of something in the situation, or, facing up to something. Maybe, finally being able to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to release, to move forward. So it's saying that you have protection on your side, and you can always call on your guides or family or whatever you believe in to help you through that time as well. And we have the Initiation. I really love this card because it shows that you're on the threshold of crossing over, making a rite of passage, leaving a darker time behind. And even though you might be stepping a little bit into the unknown, if you look at this card, look at the beauty and the glory out there. It's like you can see that glimmer of light, the light at the end of the tunnel. There's better times waiting for you, but you have to be willing to cross the line, to make that leap first into the unknown, but know that it is a much brighter future. And we've got the Ten of Cups here. So I might just read that one out to you before we go to the tarot. The Initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Some of the most sacred initiation chambers and temples look scary from the outside, but are breathtakingly beautiful on the inside. This represents the journey that the soul pilgrim is required to take to reach somewhere sacred, but only the initiated can enter. Perhaps that's where you are right now. You're being tested, initiated, because you're headed somewhere sacred. Initiations require that we cross the threshold from one world or state of being to the next. We are called to face what scares us and have to be willing to lose it all in order to gain a new way of being, of safety, of security, of depth, of meaning. So you're really making a shift this week, a fundamental shift, Taurus, from one state of being to the next. And, really it's about maybe giving something up or letting something go, or it might be a letting go of self-limiting belief or a way of being that's holding you back. So I'm going to start here with the Five of Wands and the Seven of Cups. Yeah, so look, the Seven of Cups for me can mean a few different things. It can be the disappointment of the things in your life that haven't either worked out as expected or materialized. I also call it my hollow promises card. Some of you might have been in situations, be it in work or romance, where your expectations weren't met, or there were promises made to you that weren't kept, no follow through. So that could look like the promise of promotion, or working on special projects of interest in the workplace, or maybe becoming a supervisor, or more responsibility, greater pay, and then that not happening, or those opportunities going to another team member. In our relationships, it can look like somebody, promising you the world and then just not delivering, or promising to follow through with different actions, and then you're just not really seeing the fruits of those labors. So, here we see these seven beautiful cups. It's kind of like the dangling of the carrot in front of the donkey. you know, you've seen glimpses of this, but it really hasn't delivered. It's really just stayed like a mirage in the sky. And this Five of Wands, you know, it shows a state of conflict. And it can be internal conflict, so it could be your internal conflict with yourself, you know, feeling frustrated as to why things have been like they are. It can also be conflicts with others as well. Like in the Five of Wands, you see these people here with their wands, which can be our personal power, our, you know, ability to take action, our sense of spirituality, and they're using it in a really unproductive way. So some of you might have been, you know, involved with a person who was using their power in a really unproductive way, or in a way that, you know, you felt just wasn't in the right direction. Maybe they weren't helping, you know, move the relationship forward. They were just, you know, using their time and energy in other unproductive areas. Same could be said about the workplace. But at a number 5, you know, 5 in tarot is the number of conflict. It's also the number of change. So whenever I see the 5s, I always say, you might have heard me say it before, that change transmutes conflict. And in order to bring about a new way of being, in order to cross that threshold, we have to be willing to go somewhere where we haven't gone before, have to be willing to leap. Because if we do what we always did, we get what we always got. So you are being called to have an awakening, first to that realization, and then do something differently in order to shift your energy or shift the situation. Judgment. I think that some of you have been hearing this call for a while, but I feel like this week is when it starts to shout at you. You know, this angel has the trumpet and is basically trying to get your attention, that now is the time to rise above what's been holding you back, what's been keeping you small, what's been keeping you constricted or limited, so that then you can shine in your light, and you shine in your glory, and you can start to move towards, you know, the opportunities that really want to align with you. So, I mean, the judgment can feel like there's little synchronicities along the way that it seemed to be leading you or guiding you. It can be that really strong gut feeling. It can be that powerful dream that shows you what life could look like, or gives you that wake-up call. It can be in a conversation with a friend where the penny drops. Either way, something's going to happen this week where, you know, you really understand the situation for what it is and feel compelled that now is the time to make the change. You know, there is obviously a sense of divinity about this card as well, divine timing, and potentially whatever karmic contract needed to play out in that situation has played out. And we see these people here that are just, you know, they're ready to free themselves, they're ready for liberation. You know, and yes, they're naked and it might feel like a very vulnerable time for you, but it's better to step into the unknown and be vulnerable than to stay limited, to stay constricted, to stay in a space where nothing's ever going to change. And just having that understanding is a massive breakthrough. So the Ace of Swords, you know, is new beginning energy. Obviously, we've got 2 aces in this reading. But for me, this probably indicates the breakthrough energy, the breakthrough that you will have in order to, you know, to bring about the new beginning, to step into to cross the threshold, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So that can be just that understanding that I've talked about, can be seeing the truth of the situation, seeing the light, and, you know, using that knowledge to, you know, lead yourself to a victory here with the Ace of Swords. It's about coming back into your power, reclaiming your power. Yeah, and it can be a communication as well. Some of you may need to have a communication with somebody in this situation. Maybe that's the final judgment. Judgment also talks about, you know, the final call, second chances, forgiveness. You know, you might have to have an honest conversation with somebody around those things and really decide, you know, are you going to close the door on it? But I think, you know, there is so much new beginning energy here. I really feel that could potentially be the right thing. Or if you think you can salvage the situation, you can really recreate and build a new tower, but it has to be built on a new foundation. Near future, 10 of Cups and Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. So if you should step over the threshold, take that rite of passage. I feel like this is what's waiting for you. I feel like the Ace of Pentacles is that light at the end of the tunnel, that little glimmer, that one little coin in the darkness here that just has that ray of light that's hitting it perfectly, that's leading you. That's what I feel the Ace of Pentacles is. And it's saying, come on, go through the portal. You've already walked the path. You've already climbed the mountain. Just go through the portal, and this is what's waiting for you. And what's waiting for you, is the Ten of Cups, which is the ultimate card of living your best life, of, joy, love, harmony, bliss. Whatever it is for you that fulfills you on an emotional level, whether that's having the beautiful partner, the children, the home, maybe that's having a job that, you earn the money that you want. That's what's on offer for you. But together, these cards for me say, not only can you build that situation, but there's going to be great stability and security in that for you. And not only will you be fulfilled on an emotional level, but also you'll be looked after in terms of your material abundance as well. Now, the thing to keep in mind with aces, they are the seeds. They are the seeds of new beginnings. They are the, it's number one in the suit of pentacles here. So we can't just, put it in the ground and with like a seed and walk away. We need to nurture it, to love it, to, maybe talk to it or sing to it, and then slowly it grows. That's a metaphor. We need to take the action. We need to lay the foundation. We need to put the work in. And that's what these people in the Ten of Cups know. They are here, kind of praising the rainbow, but sort of, I'm just totally lost the word. They are there, let's say praising the rainbow. Totally lost the word, it's an easy one. In order to, because they understand that by giving energy back, and really being proud of their achievements, then they keep on receiving. And it's an ongoing cyclic process of abundance creation. So, that is the process. They know it's not just a one-time thing, and they're not just kind of resting on their laurels after creating this life. They keep on sharing energy in order to gain energy. So they're continuing to water these opportunities in order to grow greater abundance, greater love, and a greater sense of stability in their lives. But Taurus, it all starts with crossing that threshold. And my answer to you is, are you willing to do it this week in order to get somewhere far better? Okay, Taurus, I'm just going to draw a couple little keywords here to close out the reading. Do you like just to choose them from the small deck here? Honesty. Okay, well, that the Ace of Swords is a lot about clarity, truth, integrity. So I really feel that, if you need to have a conversation with somebody as part of this judgment, just make sure that you're holding your integrity and that you're really honest and speaking your truth in that. Let's draw one more. These are getting a bit out of control. That was gentleness I just saw, so you might need to be gentle as well. Oh, there it goes again. All right, it did want to come out. You just can't forge this, guys. Integrity is at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, okay. It's all about honesty, integrity, and being gentle as you move through this. And that relates to yourself and also in your interactions with others. And that is the way, always moving forward in your truth. Taurus, I'm going to leave it there. I really enjoyed this reading and I'm very excited for you. Do keep in mind it's a general reading, so it may not be, resonate for everybody. But feel free to leave me a comment if it does, because I always love to hear. And I'll see you back here next week for another reading.